All righty. Well, hello, everyone. This is Roger Connect, president of Universal Accounting Center, and I'm excited to have with us today Lisa Campbell. She happens to be the president and founder of the Marcam Group. And Lisa, I'm really excited about the story you've had to share. I've met you now on two occasions, both at the IPBC conference and also at the ProfitCon event. So this is going to be kind of fun to both reconnect again and, more importantly, hear your story. So welcome.
Thanks, Roger. I'm really happy to be here.
So let's start with your background in education. I always like to begin with what it is that's gotten you to where you are. So share with everyone a little bit of your history, your background, and experience in accounting.
Okay, well, originally I started actually as an esthetician, and I opened up my own salon and didn't trust anybody to do the financials, so I thought I need to go and learn how to do this. So I went off to college and I took some accounting courses and continued to train from there. And what happened was, a lot of my clients who owned businesses at the time started asking me if I could take over their books for them. And so I did, and it just kind of gradually grew from there. And it wasn't until 2012 that I started to turn it into a full-time business, and that's when I started going for more certifications with QuickBooks and with the IPBC, and then it just kind of grew from there.
Well, one of the things that I think a lot of people will relate to is the fact that so many people actually like you started in one part of their career doing something specific, and then somehow it gradually evolved into what it is related to accounting and bookkeeping. So for some people, it's basically they are given responsibilities within an organization and they gradually learn and start to become very comfortable and proficient at the bookkeeping side, and then evolve into what it is you have, a nice thriving practice. Or there's those people that traditionally get into it from the get-go, maybe mom or dad of the accountant type, and then more importantly, they go through the traditional schooling path, and then they find themselves with a career in accounting. So that was great. I appreciate you sharing that. So let me just ask, and if this is perhaps more of a touchy-feely thing, but what is it that you love or have learned to love about accounting?
Okay, so for me, accounting is a puzzle. I've always loved puzzles. There's only one answer, and you can, use the data to find the information that's missing. And then once you find the information that's missing, you can use that to plan things for the future. It's not just about historical data anymore. We need to use those numbers accurately to help the business owners in the business that they're trying to achieve.
I like that. I also agree. I think it's kind of like this little game. It's a puzzle. So now you're in a position where you coincidentally, as you shared, started a business with the salon, graduated over to then what you have today with the Marcam Group. So give me this. What advice would you give to someone who is starting their own practice, that is beginning to actually offer accounting services?
I would strongly recommend get as much training as possible. Get as many certifications as possible. Keep yourself active in peer groups because they help keep you accountable. Always stay on top of the newest trends. What's going on with automation? What's going on with systems? What's going on with conferences? Just stay as actively involved as possible because too many of us find ourselves stuck behind a desk, 40, 50, 60 hours a week, not really engaging with anyone else, and it can be very isolating. And you can also get stuck in the old ways. For example, data entry bookkeeping is a thing of the past, as you and I both know.
Well, first of all, I think you touched on something that I'm very excited about, and it's something I speak on regularly, which is remaining passionate in your profession. And one of the things that you can definitely do is when you're around peers, going to the conferences like you do, as you mentioned, staying engaged, getting certified, is you remain passionate about what you do as a profession. And I think that is contagious to your clients, and they see within you that enthusiasm for the work that you're doing. So well said. I like what that was. So what would you offer as to some advice for a seasoned pro, someone who is that accountant, CPA, someone that is very experienced in this, and they're now venturing out and starting their own practice? What advice would you give to them? Would it be anything different?
It would be a little bit different in that I would say focus more now on scaling the business, because your business is only going to grow to a certain point if you don't have it scaled. So get actively involved with organizations that help you do that. And then make sure that you stay on top of all the latest trends of things that are going on, because you don't want to fall behind and be that old-fashioned accountant or bookkeeper. You need to make sure that you're on the edge of everything that's coming up new.
Perfect. Okay, good. So let's talk about your business. I think a lot of people are always fascinated as to what services certain firms offer. And so just generically, what is it that you specialize in, and do you have a particular niche that you work around?
Well, we don't particularly have a niche yet. That's coming. However, what we've done is we've taken the bookkeeping process itself is now fully automated in that we have systems in place for audit controls. We use tools like Receipt Bank and HubDoc so that I can have my team doing more of the actual technical work, because as you know, I've gone now into the profit first realm. So I'm taking all of my years of experience and now applying it through the profit first methodology to help the business owner more in an advisory capacity so that I can help them grow their business and put money in their pockets, because as we know, most entrepreneurs are cash poor. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's, Roger, help me out here. I'm getting a little stumped.
No, you're fine. So what it is that you're finding that in order for you to grow your business, you've had to systematize things. And as you've
Yes.
systematized it, it's freed up your staff to focus, I think, on more of the critical things that your clients are going to benefit the most from. So when you were alluding to Profit First, and we're going to definitely share that with everyone here in a few minutes, but with Profit First, it's helping you actually take your services to another level beyond just traditional bookkeeping and accounting services. It's something that we actually speak to, which is becoming the premier accounting service in the market, so that you're actually in your area different from so many of the other services that may be available that are bookkeeping related. So all of a sudden, what you're able to do now is really offer a premier service, a quality service that your clients are able to benefit from. So is that helping what you were trying to say?
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I think it's just the old ways are historical. It's a historical look at your accounts where, you know, your bookkeeper's entering the information, the accountant's doing the taxes at the end of the year, and then you sit down with the business owner and you say, okay, you showed a profit of X number of dollars at the end of last year. And the business owner says, well, I didn't see it. I don't know where that is. And so my job now is to help you throughout the year, rather, you know, going forward, rather than looking back, and say, let's actually have that cash in your pocket. Now, if I hadn't scaled my business prior to this, I don't believe that I would be able to offer that to the business owners and my clients as I do now.
What you said right there, I think, is huge, because you've been very proactive in trying to get ready to offer these types of services. And it wasn't just taking that traditional mindset of preparing financials. It was literally creating that system within your organization that's freed you up to be forward thinking to meet the needs of the client. So phenomenal. I love what you just shared there. So I'm going to just kind of delve a little bit deeper into that on two things. One, can you share with us a story of maybe some experience that a client has had where they have kind of received these services from you? What can you kind of maybe share what it is that you've witnessed a client benefiting from what it is you do?
Well, the clients now know that we use a series of bank accounts that are set up with different allocations, you know, on a bi-monthly basis that we need to put the money in for. So the clients now are finding that they have the money to pay their tax obligations. They have the money that we set aside on a quarterly profit distribution that goes actually back into the business owner's pocket, not back into the business, because so many people, as you know, they keep running money over and over again that they intend for it to be for themselves, and they end up putting it back to the business. So we scale things down within their company. So they're finding that it's a lot more proactive when they're looking at their bank balance on their phone. In particular, everybody uses the bank balance accounting on their phone. They know that if there's X number of dollars sitting in the operating account, that's all that they have to work with. All the funds that are sitting in the other accounts, you can't touch them. Those are set aside for something else. So I find it's more of a behavioral process, and it definitely helps them with their planning.
So what you're alluding to here is obviously the profit first methodology and applying these principles with your client so that they can more easily see what's available for them to do the various things within business that they need to be doing, whether it be paying the taxes, doing the payroll, and so forth. So I love the fact that you're making it streamlined for them. That's very important. Now, this is something that I think everyone would appreciate knowing a little bit about. You spoke of HubDoc, Receipt Bank. There are two other things that I know you're implementing and using within your organization. One is Profit First, as we've already started to discuss. The other happens to be pure bookkeeping. So I'd like to just real quickly have you just kind of mention what pure bookkeeping is and how it's helped you, and then we'll talk about Profit First for a minute.
Okay, so pure bookkeeping is a system that was created by Debbie Roberts in Australia, and it's moved, you know, up here into North America. And what it does is it eliminates the one of their famous lines is that if you put 12 bookkeepers in a room, you're going to have 12 different ways of doing things. Well, that doesn't work when you're trying to scale your business. So it's a series of systems that are already created for you as far as processing each segment of the books. So let's say whether it's source deductions, HST, sorry, you're in the States as well. So whatever tax processes you have down there, it's set up on a checklist basis so that we know that everything is documented. I know where everyone has left off. So it's a way of scaling your business without having to set the systems up for yourself. That helps me to make sure that everybody's on track, that all the clients are on track. Clients are all now used to knowing that they don't have to wait for anything. They don't have to be concerned that we're going to miss a deadline. They know that we have a system in place that's going to make sure everything is taken care of.
So you've brought up a number of times here the importance of actually having a system in place, that it allows you to scale or grow your business. So let me just kind of add a few things here that I think are very important. Is with pure bookkeeping, what it does is through the standard operating procedures that you're able to implement in your firm, is that having Debbie's process that has now been refined with over 800 people who have implemented it in their firms, it's now this tried and proven business in a box that you're able to use, but yet it's not a franchise. So it's a beautiful way of implementing tried and proven processes to make sure that you actually have a workflow that's efficient. And like your point at the beginning of, if you brought 12 bookkeepers into the room, you'd have 12 different systems. This allows you to be autonomous from those doing the work, so that whether you're onboarding new bookkeepers or promoting or moving around different individuals, the process stays the same, and what the workflow is the same. Therefore, you can be confident and comfortable knowing that the clients are being taken care of as you're growing your firm. So that's phenomenal. I love what you shared about that, and that's excellent. So with regards to pure bookkeeping, you now understand and know that your business is doing well. How does Profit First now play into that?
Well, Profit First is something that I don't feel I would be able to excel at if I didn't have the worry of the day-to-day operations of my business taken care of. So I don't need to worry that the workflow is not happening. So it frees me up to spend more time in more of that advisory capacity, where I know that all the back end work is being taken care of, and I can move forward and focus on what the entrepreneurs need now, which is guidance at this day and age.
Love that. I'm very passionate about this. So as you and I both know, there's a great deal of discussion, and has been for a number of years, about valued price services. And Profit First fits that very, very well, because essentially what it is it's moving you, as you shared, away from the bookkeeping process and preparing the financials into more of that advisory role. It allows you to be the consultant, and more importantly, put you into a more healthy relationship with your clients, because you're able to advise them and help them understand what the numbers are saying about the business, so that they can be more proactive in the work that they're doing in their companies, the decisions they're making in their companies. Now, the beauty of this is the fact that you can be paid very well for these types of services beyond just the now commoditized bookkeeping services. So how has this been liberating for you as you've kind of moved into that role of being a strategic advisor for your clients?
Well, it's great, because we don't worry about timesheets and all that nonsense. And we're not promoting the fact that if it takes me longer to do a job, it costs the client more. It's better for the client to know up front, okay, this is what I'm going to expect from you every month or every quarter, whatever it is that we've agreed to. And it's more peace of mind for them. It's more peace of mind for me. That started with pure bookkeeping. They taught me how to value my services, first of all, and then how to move into more of a value-based model. And then Profit First was just a natural add-on on top of that.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so now you're in a position where you've got this thriving practice. You've got these clients that definitely see the value in your services. So what I'd like to ask is, where do you see the accounting profession going in the future? What do you see on the horizon, having attended these conferences and just being there with the clients? What do you think is next?
I think what's next is definitely the shift into the more of the advisory role. When you have all these apps that are available, especially through QBO, where everything is automated, some of the more junior bookkeepers or some that are kind of stuck in the old ways are very concerned about maybe being written out of a job. Well, this is where you need to pivot, and you need to leverage the technology that's out there and stop focusing so much on the day-to-day entry that's so time consuming, use the automation that's available, and then take the knowledge that you have and use that for the good of the business owners. It's a great feeling when you know that you can help somebody just based on the experience that you have and the training that you have, and put them into more of a cash positive role.
I love this. This is beautiful. So that perspective of where this is going is exactly right. I do see that people who are more, let's say, tied to the data entry role that they've had in business before as they're recording the transactions, that is being automated. The artificial intelligence, AI, is really revolutionizing that. And so if you were kind of old school to the point that you're unwilling to see yourself change, I do feel that you're going to actually see that you're going to become less and less relevant. Where the opportunity exists for the accounting profession is to see that these tools are enabling you to do what you're going to be best at, which is your perspective from a numbers point of view, and communicating that like a translator to the client in a way that they can make more intelligent business decisions about their own company. So well said. That's perfect. So this is an interesting question that I want to ask, and I'm kind of curious about your thought on this, but what would you tell people about either pure bookkeeping or profit first?
As far as in general about both of them?
Yeah, if someone was not familiar with pure bookkeeping, or they were considering implementing those processes in their business to help actually streamline the workflow, what kind of advice or information would you give to them about pure bookkeeping? And then the same about
pure bookkeeping. Pure bookkeeping absolutely is something that everybody should look into, because I have not found another system even closely comparable. Even if a company says that they can set you up and guide you, that's not the same thing as having systems hands-on. These systems are designed to be sort of manipulated in so that they apply to your own business. We can tweak them the way we need to tweak them. The involvement on the pure bookkeeping side from Debbie Roberts and Michael Palmer, they are amazing as far as the coaching aspect. They hold you accountable if you get stuck. They're literally a phone call and email away, and they will get back to you and they will hold your hand. So my advice to people is absolutely look into pure bookkeeping as far as a whole. It's an investment in your business that you need, because you cannot grow. I mean, if you're happy sitting behind your desk for that number of hours and have no retirement plan, go for it. But if you're not, if you need to find a sort of an exit strategy, you need to implement a system in your business. And that's where pure bookkeeping comes in, and they will absolutely guide you every step of the way.
Very good. How about profit first?
Profit first. Okay, so profit first, there is an application process as far as that is concerned as well. So if you're somebody who's got loads and loads of experience and has put the systems in place and has your business to a point where you feel that you can advise people, but you need help doing that. How can I help this entrepreneur, have more money in his pocket? How can I guide them to a growth plan? That's where you lean towards profit first, because they're going to teach you all the tricks and tools that you need to make sure that you can advise your clients in a way that you feel comfortable with. You're strong in your opinions. You're absolutely guiding them on the right path. And again, wonderful community there as well. Mike Michalowicz is an incredible person to speak to in person, and his thought processes are amazing. But the entire team is right there for you, like literally a phone call away.
That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I know your perspective there is very unique, so I appreciated all that. The one thing that I will add is we will provide in the information, the description below here, a link to some information about both pure bookkeeping and profit first, just because this is obviously something that's really made a big difference for Lisa in her firm, not only just growing it the way that she's intended to and having what she has today, but really breaking it down to, I think, two critical things. That these are my words, not hers, but it's confidence and competence. Whenever you're in a position working with business owners, you want to be very confident about what you're able to offer them, because that's what they're paying for, but then the competence to do it efficiently so that you're profitable providing that service. It's basically those two things coming together that allow you to actually have a very successful practice, have a successful accounting firm, and going from there. So Lisa, this is more or less your opportunity to share any parting thoughts. What advice, information would you like to share, or what would you like to say to those who are listening in about the opportunities that exist for them in the accounting profession?
I think that if you stay on top of the education, participate in the webinars that are available, especially for your continuing education credits, Don't get stuck, working by yourself and being isolated. Reach out. There's lots of people out there that are willing to help, to share their stories, to help you along your way if you feel that you're kind of getting stuck. Absolutely take every course that you can find. I know, Roger, you have tons of courses there that are available to help you upgrade. If you feel like maybe you're just not quite confident enough to pursue growth or advise your clients, then reach out and find the courses that are going to help you boost yourself up, because you need to have that confidence within yourself. So absolutely stay on top of things. Don't be afraid of automation, and hold yourself accountable. Join groups that will hold you accountable.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. Now, one of the things that I'd like to do as we wrap this up is encourage you to take advantage of the various tools that are available just below in the descriptions. There are little bits of information that will elaborate on things that we were discussing today. But at the same time, feel free to share this with other people that you know that are in the accounting profession so that they might be able to share and see what it is that's going on today. Thank you, Lisa, for your time. This has been wonderful, wonderful, both insightful and I think inspiring. I think you've achieved a number of great things within your career, and I'm very impressed with what you've been able to do, and I look forward to the next time we get to see each other. So thank you, and stay in touch.
Thank you, Roger. It's great to be here.
Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.